Okay, so I'm starting this video a little bit late in the process, but I'll still be able to show you what I've done. So if you have this car, you know these little side trim pieces here fit right here next to the doors. That's the first thing you have to pop off. I opened the door here. I opened this door here and popped just a trim piece right under here. Not a trim piece, but a trim remover piece. And got it under it. And then I got my hands on here and I popped this top part off first, and then was able to work my way down and get the bottom loose. And I did that on the other side as well. I haven't disconnected the seat warmers, just because these will hang here by themselves and they're out of the way of the radio. No big deal. This over here, so that obviously goes in there like this, blah blah blah, all that. Okay, so anyway, you know where that goes. So that is in there. When you get these two side trim pieces off, this here, this little piece right here, is basically like that, connecting right there. And these, if you can see, there's one and there's two holes on each side. One of these holes is for a little pin that it sits on. The other one right here is for a screw. So what you have to do is you have to take the screws out, the two screws out, one on each side first, and then this little piece you got to pop out as well. And then once you do that, you can kind of work this out. This one just clips in, just like most dash stuff. So this big chunk here just clips in. I pulled that off, and the radio has two connectors here. They're sitting up here. I pulled those out. I pulled one of these out so that I could get it to the side. One of these here, sorry, I'm not showing everything. That connects down here to the air conditioning stuff. I pulled that all out, and I'm hanging this to the side. This has 4 screws on it. There's 1, 2, 3, and then another one over there on that side. I pulled those 4 screws out, and that's where I'm at so far. I'm pretty sure now that I've pulled those out, this whole piece, I might have to get 2 hands with it and really get it out of there, but I'm pretty sure that whole radio part will come out. And we'll show you the next step here in just a little bit. Okay, so this did come out pretty easily. Just kind of gave it a good tug and it popped right off. A good tug. So I'm going to pop some of these wires out here, and then my next step will be to set up the wiring harness, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So I'll set up the aftermarket wiring harness that goes to my aftermarket radio, and the wiring harness that goes to the harness here on the car. And we'll show you all that, and then we'll show you the install. I'm probably going to have to take these brackets off here. It looks like, I guarantee I am, because there's screws there. So I'm going to take these brackets off here. We'll put those brackets on the new radio and get them centered right and get them put in there so that we can screw everything back in, and we'll be set to go. Okay, so one of the things you're going to have to get is a antenna adapter for most aftermarket stuff. So I did get one of those. This will clip into the antenna right here. It is right there. So I'm going to clip that in now, just so that I have that done, and that'll be ready to go. Alright, so this is what it looks like. There are the 2 connections there. Hyundai's got a little weird thing that they do with these couple. They're isolated things. Metro makes it nice. They put 2 of them into one, and then you've got this one here. This is just the amplifier power. I actually had a cord that was for the amplifier, and so I'm going to use that. We'll hope it works. We'll see. The other thing that is different is this connection only has 1 pin in it. I'm actually going to have to tap into my steering wheel controls. I've seen on the internet that supposedly I'm supposed to be able to use this wire right here, connect it directly to a certain wire in the coming out of the other end of this, and supposedly they're supposed to work exactly right. So we'll see how that all goes. I'm going to go put it in here, and I've had to do some cutting on the dash kit. This is the second time I've installed this radio. The first time was in a Mitsubishi, and it went in perfectly fine. It looked great. It looked really nice, actually. Unfortunately, this one I've had to cut and kind of chop around a little bit, so we'll see if I can make it look decent. If not, I might buy another dash kit and try and make it at least look better than it currently is. We'll see though, and I'll show you some more results here in a minute. Okay, so here are the brackets. I have put them on. I only use 3 screws because there's some stuff in the way on the inside of my new doubled in, but those are the brackets that I'm going to put it back on with. Just thought I'd show you that. And then next I'm going to get the wiring harness all put together so that I can hook everything up and see if it all works, make sure everything works the right way, and we'll go from there. Okay, so everything is currently working well, except for I haven't tried to hook up the steering wheel controls. So I found on a beautiful website, it was a Hyundai forum actually, that it showed me where the wires were for the steering wheel controls. One of the wires is a ground, and you actually have to ground that out. The other one is the connector for the controls. So I also found out that supposedly I'm supposed to be able to use the steering wheel key 1 on my radio, connect that to the connector or to the positive, and it should work. So I'm going to try that. Here's the piece. There's no pins in the harness that I bought for that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to splice it on the back end, and hopefully it will work. I'm just going to use one of these inline splicers, just like I've done for a bunch of the other stuff. So I've run the wire from the key, and I've connected to the ground here, and I'm going to ground out the other one, and we'll see if it works. That's probably all I'm going to do. I'm not going to try and connect the access thing. I'm actually just going to return that because I don't want to deal with it. It's not that big a deal to me. The biggest thing is getting my radio back. So anyway, we'll show you how it works if it works. Alright, this is the dash kit here. These little pieces here take the place of the brackets that I put on the radio. So I took the brackets off, and I think I'm gonna try and use this. The reason I want to do that is because they snap into the front here, and that's what keeps the front in place and looking like a factory install. So that's what I'm going to try and do. We'll see if it works out. If it doesn't, then it doesn't, but I'd like to try. So I'll show you once I put it on the radio, and we'll go from there. Alright, so this is the finished product. This is not the most beautiful trim job here. I had to do some cutting and some stuff like that, but alright, there's the mute. Anyway, this is the load up time. You saw when it turned on. That's how long it takes. This is the radio part of it. So you can see that part. It's F or high def in the sense that it reads the, you know, tells you what's on the radio and that kind of thing. Let's see. So with this setup, it has to sit back pretty far. And again, like I said, this is not too pretty. I could do some work on it. I might end up doing that, but not terrible from the front. If you go to the home here, that's what it looks like on the home. I need to switch. I used to have Mitsubishi, and that's what I had this in, and it was a way cleaner install just because the dash was the right size as far as the dash kit. This one was not, so I had to do some cutting. But anyway, that's what it looks like, and I'll do a review here of the whole thing in just a minute. Well, in another video, I guess. Alright, here's the review of my Hyundai, or not Hyundai, but my Android double-din. This is an older one. This is a 4.2.2. I know they've got some with some newer system out. This one I got about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. I had it in another car, and somebody hit me, so I took it out, and it's been a while since I put this in, but thought I'd do a little review of it since my last review got taken down. I put the little wallpaper up there. Yes, this is an Android, obviously, so you can do whatever you want to do as far as installing wallpapers or backgrounds and all that stuff. Let's see. It's pretty simple. I've got a little memory stick, or SD card, sorry, micro SD card right down there. Volume up, volume down, no big deal. This is the direct link to your navigation. You can also click there to go to navigation, or you can obviously whatever. Anyway, I have downloaded a couple audio apps. I've got Overdrive, I've got audiobooks on there, and then I've got I download those audiobooks and listen to them, and then I've got regular music player there that plays music that's on my micro SD card. That's funny, that old song. Got Creed on there. Anyway, yeah, I'd like to not hear that. Alright, I've also got video on my stuff, so I downloaded VLC. You can get on Netflix. I've done that before if you have Wi-Fi. I've got the Wi-Fi currently on. I've also got the Bluetooth on. The Bluetooth works fine. They can hear you just fine. I have used it for quite some time. This is literally just an Android tablet. So you've got your Bluetooth, your navigation, your radio is here. Might be a little loud. Let's so that's your radio. You gotta set it. It's HD radio in the sense that it reads out what they send. I don't know that it reads out I think it may read out the name of the song, but so it's HD radio in that sense. I don't think the signal is actually HD radio, but it pulls in the information at least. And you have multiple FMs. You got AM and then back to FM there. It got its own little cheapo equalizer in there. I downloaded an equalizer program that actually works pretty well. The Equalizer Pro. Right there. So that's what I did. And this is the stock music player. I don't know that it recognizes playlists. I think that's why I downloaded VLC in the beginning, was because this thing didn't recognize the playlists. So there you go. It's pretty slow. You see that it took a while for it to load. See if it recognizes any playlist. I don't think it does, because I guess if I were to make a playlist, then it would recognize it. But that's my external SD card right there, and it recognizes the songs. But anyway, that's a pain in the butt to use. That's why I just downloaded the VLC, and the VLC and the Rocket player work just fine. So I also downloaded this little widget here. It's just an analog clock. Thought it looked kind of cool. And you can change the clocks and all that stuff, but I've chosen that one. So it's pretty simple. It works really well. I've got the GPS antenna in my dash, and it does just fine. So there's a review of it. Like I said, it is literally just an Android tablet. So it works just like an Android tablet, and you can you know, do all kinds of things with it. So there you have it.